the colors we have today are green gold, sap green, and I put a little bit ultramarine blue, but I'm not sure I'm going to use it. I have Indian yellow. I have primary magenta, titanium white, Titan buff, which is kind of like a unbleached titanium. I have neutral gray number 8, and this is cobalt turquoise. So that's about the only colors we're going to use today. And the paint brushes I'm using are a script liner, a number 8, a number 12, and a 3/4 inch flat. So we're going to use those today. Now, I'm painting today on a birch wood painting panel. This is one I got at 6x6, but the one I'm using today is an 8x8. And it's about an inch and a half thick on here. What I did was I did a coat of the neutral gray, the Titan buff, and the Indian yellow here, and I just kind of just splattered it when I smeared it around, and it wasn't any kind of order. And what I needed to do is have a base of a darker color, so that when you paint, you have all these multiple colors in there, and it's very rich. So after I painted the base with those 3 colors, I took the tracer that I provided, and if you want a tracer, just let me know in the comments and I will send it to you. So here's the tracer I used here, and all I did was I printed it off the copier, and then on the back of it, I colored it with just a regular number 2 pencil. Taped it on here, traced it, and then the pencil transferred to the canvas. Now, I also send, if you want, a lot of people like 6x6s because they're easy to get, like at Michael's. And so I've also included a 6x6 traceable if you want to go smaller on that one. Okay, so just let me know if you want it. All right, any questions, anything? Oh, let's see. Oh, 23 degrees. That's really cold. And you're in Pennsylvania. Oh, Jan. That is super cold. We're supposed to get only highs in the 40s today. So what are you getting there, Jan? About the same? In the fall, I went up to Pennsylvania. It is beautiful there. In the mountain regions of it, it's gorgeous. Alright, so I'm going to start off with the 3/4 inch brush, and I'm going to just use some titanium buff and a little bit of white to start doing some highlights here on the edge of the petals. So I'm just going to grab some over here. Boy, my hands are shaking this morning. If you don't know, I have, when I turned 40, and I'm in my late 50s now, when I turned 40, my hands started shaking, and I was diagnosed with essential tremors, which is hereditary because my dad had it, my grandma had it, and there's really nothing I can do. I do take a little bit of medicine, but it doesn't help a bunch. So that kind of had to force me to switch from watercolors to acrylics, and also forced me to paint more loose because it's a struggle to get it straight. So it's kind of a blessing because it kind of changed my style, and I kind of like this new style. Alright, so I have titanium white and Titan buff here, and I'm just going to go around the edge here. Just add a little bit. Okay, and then just get some Titan buff with some gray just to tone it down just a tiny bit. I'm going to switch brushes because that one's kind of big right now. Okay. Just add those in. Now that will darken up, so you won't see it as much. Okay, now I'm going to go to the bigger one. Do the same thing. Titanium white with the Titan buff. And just kind of go around the edges and just do it kind of streaky. And now I'm using the edge of my brush and just kind of coming in here. And don't be too perfect because it will darken up some. This is to add the highlights. And you can see how the flowers are starting to pop out here. And I don't want them super perfect because I want that underlayer to show through. And I don't want to do the whole edge. Okay, now I'll come over here to this little one here. And when I do it, I'm going to bring it down towards the bottom of the flower. And you can see I didn't come all the way to the bottom. I kind of just lifted up as I came to the bottom. So some of that color underneath shows through. So same thing here. I'm going to add light here and then not come all the way to the bottom. Like that. And you just let it be. Alright, now I'm going to add some of the center in there. This is the darker part in here so that you can see the details here. I forget what these are called. So I'm going to just use my Indian yellow with some green gold. And I'm just going to plop it in there. Maybe that one a little bit more Indian yellow on that one. Okay. You can see I'm just kind of coming out with it like a starburst, like a sun. This one I like it flat on the bottom because that petal, bottom petal's coming out. Okay. And then that little middle part, I'm just going to use green gold. Just kind of darken that middle part here. Like that. Okay. Now we're going to leave that alone for a little while. We'll come back to that. Now let's make some pink for that. Let's see. High 34 today. Was my panel pre-gesso, Jan? It was not. I just took the regular wooden panel and then I just took those three colors, gray, the Titan buff, and the yellow, and then just kind of just swiped it here and there, not in any kind of order. And I did do 2 coats of it. Vet's calling me to remind me. Uh-oh. Are we back? Okay, good. My vet was calling me. My dog has an appointment today at 3. She's got to get her shots. So that's what that was. Okay, let's do the pink. So I'm going to get the primary magenta, a little titanium here. Maybe a little bit of the yellow just to give it more of a peachy tone. Okay, and then I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to swipe it in there. Now I'm going to add a lighter part to it. So it looks kind of like there's petals going around and the middle part's darker. You can see how I did it like that, little buds. And now I'm going to make a little darker pink, and to do that I'm going to add a tiny bit of the sap green, and it should deepen it. I don't like using black because black dulls the colors so that they're flat, and when you add the complement you can see that that pink went really rich. When you add the complement, which is green and red, it deepens the tone. Same thing later when I start doing the background. I'm going to add the magenta to the green and it'll darken the green. So it's just the opposite. Here we're just kind of bumping in there. You can see it gets darker. Okay, we'll come back in here and add a little bit more pink. And just leave it alone. Okay, now let's go and do some green. Okay, we'll get some green gold, which is about my favorite color. We'll get some of this gray. Maybe some turquoise in here. Okay. Maybe sap green. I'm just trying to make a deeper green and then a lighter green. Alrighty, let's start on this side. I'm a lefty, so I'm going to start on this side because if I start here and then I come over here, I'm probably going to smear that. So I'm going to start over here. So I'm going to come in here and just add some vein-like textures. I think I'm going to switch. I'm just switching greens and I'm brushing it in a way that automatically creates those veins. I'll wash my brush out and then we'll come in here and I just take pure water and I can come in here and add a little bit more texture. And what the water does is it's lifting off the color. Okay. This one I'm going to make it slightly different so it's next to it because you want one to pop up, one you don't. Okay. I think I'm going to add some yellow in there to tone that green a little bit different. Okay. If you just joined us, let us know where you're from. How's the weather? It's super cold here. I'm from North Carolina. I'm here in Greensboro. And I think we got construction going on, if y'all can hear that. They tore down a house up the road here, and I guess they're messing with it. So you might hear some construction. Okay, I'm just continuing doing the leaves, and I'm just switching greens. I'm just adding some white to the green gold, or to this turquoise with the green. I'm just switching it up so it's not so boring. You don't want a flat color. You want to change it up and give the eye something to look around. I'm just adding some more texture in there. Oops, my finger touched. Okay. That's not getting enough contrast there. Sometimes I just like it how it kind of messes up, just from the way it goes, and so I tend to just leave it. Okay, so I'm done with that side. Now we'll come over here to the other side. Just do the same thing, and as I do the leaves, I just kind of come in to where the vein would be. Now, like I said, I'm just mixing up the colors so it's not so boring. There, just leave that one alone. Just let the paint stroke show. Now I'm just going to get a little bit of water on my brush and come in here and bring some of that out. Okay, and then I just leave that alone. Alright, now I'm going to start doing the background. When I do the background, I'm going to use the sap green, and let's see how that looks here. If it's dark enough. It's dark, but I want a little bit darker, so I'm going to add a little bit of the magenta to it. Maybe a little bit of turquoise. Let's see it now. Might have to do 2 coats. And I can't really do it over here. The green is wet. Okay. Alright, I really should start back over here. A little bit of magenta to darken it up. Okay. I tried. We'll switch to a smaller brush. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to do 2 coats of the background because you can kind of see the transparency of it. And then I like to add bit turquoise just to see what happens here. Experiment. Now my original painting that I did it on, so I was just thinking about this canvas. This is acrylic paper. It came in a pad, and I just cut it down as a practice so I didn't waste canvases. So you could try that too. It's just an acrylic pad. And I also have these are, I got these, what is it called? Jerry's Artorama. It's the art boards, and they're pretty thick. They are, let's see if I can grab one. Same thing, you can see that they're really hard to bend, but they're pretty thick. And I use those too to paint on. So I don't waste canvas boards as practice. So you can try that too. Or you can try mixed media paper, but if you use mixed media paper, the texture is just not the same as when you do it on a canvas, I found. So that's a solution, like, if you don't want to waste canvas boards and stuff, you can try the paper ones here. Okay, I'm going to turn my canvas so I can get to it a little bit easier here. One thing, if you've noticed my paintings, sometimes they look almost like oil paint. Sometimes that's because when I make a mistake like this, I'll just take the other color and I will weather wet into wet like that. It just gives it that oil paint look. So the edges are not so solid. So I'll do that right there. Like I said, I like it kind of messy. See the paint strokes. Okay. Ooh, I don't like that. I'm going to add a little bit of light under this petal here. Just so it looks as if it's fading off. Like that, same thing here. So you don't have that solid thing, because then it'll just look flat. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to do 2 coats on this. Okay, same thing on this other flower here. I'm going to add some of that light green underneath it. Oops. To clean that up, just get a wet brush, clean brush. Just work it off. There we go. Again, I'm going to clean up that edge right there. Go around that edge. It's kind of wiggly from my wiggly hand. Again, I want to give a sense of the flower fading back, so I add a little bit of light next to it so it's not so clean edged. There. Alright, now as that's drying here, I'm going to start back in the center doing this little thing. Anybody know what those are called? I don't know what those are called. I know I just love flowers, but I don't know the thing. Okay, oh, thank you, Jan. Let's see, are the canvas artboards hard to cut? I use an X-Acto knife and a ruler. So I did use it with scissors and I broke a pair of scissors, so I would not recommend that. So when I cut mine down, I use an X-Acto knife. So I use this big one here to cut the artboards, to cut them down to the size I want. Alrighty, let's oops, I forgot an area. Hold on. Okay. All right. Let's do some cleaning up here a little bit. I'm going to go around my edges a little bit more here. Maybe I'll add some pink in there around my edges. It's not dark enough. There's no rhyme or reason where I'm putting it. I'm just going to swipe it in there just to add more color. Okay. I think I'll come in here and add a little bit more white. And just some areas so you can really see the dark. This is just pure titanium white here. Uh-oh. My pinky. So just took water, wipe that off. Okay, I want this to stand out more here, so I'm going to add a little bit more titanium right there. Bring that forward. Bring this petal forward. Trying to blend that one out a little bit. Okay. Clean up that edge. That's bugging me. Okay. Now I'm going to use the script liner to come in here to do the parts. And with the script liner, just going to add some white and yellow. And have it not so thick. And then what I do is I kind of wipe it and then twirl the script liner so it's nice and pointy. And then I'm going to come in here and just make marks coming towards the center. And I don't do a full line, I'm just do some at the top, some at the bottom. Turn it. And then same thing up here. I don't do a full line, I just do partial. Just to suggest it. But some of it will be in shadow. Like that. Now, I'm going to get lighter. And And I'm going to add some here going toward the center part. Okay, and some more here. Okay. Now for the little dark red spots here. I'm going to mix some primary magenta with the yellow, and to brown it a little bit I'm going to add some turquoise. And you see that browned it up here. Okay. I didn't mix enough. Let me do it some more. Okay. There we go. And when I put the dots in there, I put some high, some low, some are smaller, some are thicker. And I try to go random. I don't want them all in a row because that doesn't look natural. So high, low, big, small. Okay, and then up in here, same thing. High, low, big, small. And I wouldn't put them right on the end of stuff because what you're doing is you're just suggesting it. Because sometimes the way the light is, it just creates a shadow. So you wouldn't see the little, I'm calling them filaments. I don't know what they're called. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Now what I need to do is do the background. Before I do that, though, I'm going to add a little bit more of the what do you call these little leaves on the rosebuds. Okay, that's not showing up. Be white. There it goes. Okay. Okay, now time for another coat in the background. I'm not going to do the whole background. I'll just do part of it.